Third one, cost unit. What do you mean by a cost unit? It is a unit of measurement used to determine the cost of a product or a service. It is a unit of measurement which is used for what purpose? To determine the cost of a product or a service. If you are going to a mobile shop to purchase a mobile, generally a mobile, what is the cost unit? We will use number of mobiles. We cannot measure the mobile in kgs, right? We cannot measure the mobile in tons. We cannot measure the mobile in liters. So what is the cost unit which is required to measure the product? That is called as here cost unit. For example, in the case of mobile, we will use number of mobile. Correct? If you are going to educational institution, they will use the cost unit which is used is per course or per student. That is the cost unit which is used by educational institution. If you are going to a hospital, the cost unit which is used is per patient or per service. So these are the different examples for a cost unit. So what is the main purpose they will use this cost unit? It helps the business to determine the total cost of a production or service delivered. So for that purpose we will use this cost unit. Cost unit is generally used to determine what is the cost of a product or a service which is delivered. That is called as a cost unit. If you are going to a hospital, generally they will take per patient, correct? For one patient, if you are going 2-3 patients together, still they will charge per patient. They will charge per patient separately. If you are going to a hotel for eating anything, buffet, they will charge per buffet or otherwise per meal, per plate. So that is called here as a cost unit. If you are going to a hotel, if you are going for international traveling and if you are staying in a hotel, 5-star hotel, they will charge per room. Number of days into per room, single room or double room. A single room is a cost unit, double room is a cost unit, triple room here is a cost unit. So cost unit is nothing but it is a unit of measurement which is used to measure the cost of a product or a service delivered. Next, they give a few typical examples of cost units are as follows. You can see industry or a product. You can see the automobile industry. In the case of automobile industry, you take car, you take bike, you take buses, you take lorry, anything. How they will measure? They will measure in the number of cars, number of buses, number of lorries, like that. Cement. If you are taking the cement industry, how they will measure? Generally, they will measure in the tons per ton or otherwise per bag. Per ton or otherwise per bag. Generally, per ton is nothing but 1000 kgs. We will call it as a per ton, or otherwise they will measure per bag. Per bag generally consists of 50 kgs or 100 kgs. That is the unit of cost measurement. Chemicals. Chemicals will be used in different industries for different purposes. Generally, it is measured either in the liters or gallons or kilograms, depending upon the need or purpose they will use this. Power. Generally, the electricity power is measured in kWh, that is nothing but kilowatt hours. Steel. Steel is generally measured in the tons. If you are constructing a house, you require steel for that purpose. If you are constructing any industry, manufacturing industry, definitely you require a certain amount of a certain percentage of steel for that. That steel is measured in tons. Transportation, and coming to the transportation, we are having different types of transportation. One, we are having public transportation, another one we are having private transportation. So in the case of private transportation, generally they will measure per kilometer. For example, if you are booking Ola, if you are booking Uber, if you are booking Rapido from SR, I want to travel from SR Nagar to MGBS bus station. So in that case, if I am booking a Ola car, generally he will measure per kilometer basis. He won't ask how many number of passengers you are entering into the car. He will ask how many number of kilometers you want to travel. Per kilometer is this much. So the per kilometer here will call it as a unit of cost measurement. If you are going in a public bus, if you want to travel in a public bus, in that case he won't charge per kilometer. He will charge per passenger kilometer. Per passenger kilometer. Why? Because in the case of public sectors, not only me, along with me, there is certain public also will travel in the same bus. So I cannot travel in a private mode. I need to travel along with the general public. In that case, the unit of cost measurement which is used here is per passenger kilometer. Per passenger kilometer. So here represents for one passenger, if one passenger is traveling up to a distance of 1 kilometer, what is the fare he is going to charge? That is only called as per passenger kilometer. Here this per passenger kilometer is called as a unit of cost measurement. So transportation sector, generally they will use per kilometer or per passenger kilometer. No, if they are not transporting passengers, if they are transporting goods from one place to another place, in that case, the unit of cost measurement which is used in the case of transportation sector is per tonnage kilometers, per tonnage kilometer. So here tonnage kilometer represents if 1 ton goods is transported up to a distance of 1 kilometer, what is the fare they are going to charge? That is called per tonnage kilometer. So this is the unit of cost measurement which we have in the case of transportation sector. Gas. Generally the gas is measured in the case of cubic feet. So when it is a commercial purpose, they will use cubic feet. When it is supplied for domestic purpose, in the gas cylinders we have in the homes for the domestic consumption purpose, in that case also they will be measuring in kgs. Either it can be measured in the kgs or otherwise you can measure in the cubic feet, anything is fine. So this is the unit of cost measurement. And some of the examples which have adopted from our ICMA material also. In our ICMA material, there are certain few more examples which is there. So generally, why I am discussing only this cost unit in depth, because generally they will ask it as a MCQ question. Generally they will ask it as a MCQ question in the examination point of view. In the examination point of view, he will give you a product or an industry and he will ask you to find out what is the unit of cost measurement which is used in that industry. Okay. So some of the examples for which is adopted from our ICMA material also we can see here. Brewing. Brewing is nothing but we will be seeing in the case of wine, vodka and certain types of beers and certain type of alcoholic consumption. We can see this brewing they will do. So when in the case of brewing, how they will measure? They will measure in the barrels. They will supply in the barrels. If you're going to a pub, if you're going to a certain alcoholic restaurants and all, you can bar and restaurants, you can see there. Generally, they will supply in the ml, but the cost unit measurement which is used here is barrels. They will supply, the suppliers will supply to the bars and restaurants, pubs in the barrels. Once they will procure in the barrels, they will convert into liters and they will measure into ml and they will supply. Brick making. In the case of bricks industry, generally it is measured in the block. One block may consist of 100 bricks or 1000 bricks generally. So they will measure in the number of blocks. Coal mining. Coal mining extraction we can see in the case of Telangana, we can see we are having nearby this Bhadrachalam, Kottagudem, we are having Singareni mining. So whatever the coal they are extracting from the coal mines, it will be measured in tons generally. It is measured in the tons. This coal, whatever they are extracting, this coal will be generally used for electricity generation, power generation. In the thermal power stations, they will use this coal for generating the electricity. So this coal is measured in the tons. Electricity, already we know that. Engineering. In the case of engineering, this engineering works will be done on the basis of job or contract. Suppose I have purchased a bus, Ashok Leyland bus, I have purchased a Volvo 9000-9600 Volvo bus I have purchased. I want to use this bus for transporting passengers from one place to another place. Generally in the outside also you will be seeing sleeper buses. Volvo sleeper buses you will be seeing. So this Volvo sleeper buses directly he will not modify, directly he will not customize, only engine along with that body, it will be supplied by the Volvo company. Then we have to take it to a manufacturer like Prakash manufacturer we have in the market, and different types of manufacturers we have. But in the case of buses, we'll be seeing most of the places, buses will be seeing Prakash manufacturer. The Prakash manufacturer, he is an engineer. He is an engineer. He will customize whatever the bus which you are giving according to your need. They will customize whether it is a seater, whether it is a sleeper, whether it is a seater cum sleeper, lower seater, upper seater, like depending upon the need, he will customize the bus. So when the Prakash engineering works, when they are taking up this contract, they will take either job wise, either contract wise. Suppose if you are giving 3 buses to them for modification, one is for seater, one is for sleeper AC, one is for non-sleeper AC. So another one is for non-sleeper, non-sleeper. So like that you are giving 3 buses for contract basis. Then in that case, that Prakash engineering workshop, he will take each bus as a separate job or each bus as a separate contract. Oil. In the case of oil extraction companies like ONGC or in the any HPCL, ONGC, any companies you can take, BHEL, any companies you can take. They will be measuring all these things in the case of liters. Hotel or catering. In the case of hotel industry, if you are going for taking a room, they will measure depending upon the type of room they will charge. Here room is called as a cost unit or unit of cost measurement. Professional services like chartered accountant, cost and management accountant, company secretary, doctor, lawyer, they will charge on the basis of hourly basis. How many number of hours they are allocating for your job, based upon the number of hours, whatever the service they are providing, on based upon that they will charge. Educational institutions. In the case of educational institutions, they will charge on the basis of course. Some people they will charge on the basis of course. If you are going in the case of professional course, if you see CMA, CMA foundation is a course, CMA inter is a course, CMA final is a course. So according to the course they will charge. Or otherwise enrollment, if you are enrolling for a total package, then in that case like that. Then depending upon the students, these all are the unit of cost measurements. Hospitals. In the case of hospital sector, you will be seeing basically two types of patients. One is OP, one is IP. OP is nothing but an outpatient. When you are having some fever, when you are having some cold, when you are having some other problem, otherwise you want to go for some test, you are not going to admit into the hospital. You will go, you will take an appointment, and you will take whatever the need you require. You will take the service and you will come out from the hospital. That is called OP patient. That is called OP patient. In the case of OP patient, according to the number of patients, they will charge. And IP patients will be there. IP is nothing but inpatient. A patient is going to come into the hospital, he is going to admit into the hospital, and he is going to stay for a number of days. Suppose if you are going for a surgery, if you are going for a delivery, if you are going for an operation, if you are going for a heart, like a heart stunt replacement or bypass, like any type of operations, if you are going to the hospital, that type of patients will call it as a IP patients. Inpatient. Inpatient is nothing but the person will come and admit into the hospital. So here OP patient is called as a unit of cost measurement. IP patient is called as a unit of cost measurement. Here in the case of IP patient, they will charge patient per room day. Patient per room day. Patient per room day is nothing but if a patient is going to stay in one room per one day, what is the charge the hospital is going to charge? That is only called here patient per room day. This patient per room day is nothing but a unit of cost measurement here. Next, activities. In the case of activities, credit control. This credit control generally will be seeing in the case of financial institutions, housing loan, personal loan, credit cards, or different types of business loan, different types of loans they will give. Wherever the loans or financial things is involved, we will be seeing this credit control. Credit control is nothing but if you are having a credit card. So what is the credit limit you are having? That is called as a credit control. Why? Because one person may having the same, I have a suppose Axis Bank credit card I have. So my credit card limit is only 1.5 lakhs. Same credit card is held by another person, one of my friend, but he is having a limit of 3 lakhs. So it depends upon the credit control limit which is kept by the bank. It depends upon the transaction. It depends upon the person profile. They will be giving the limits for that. Selling. In the case of sales, we'll be seeing customer call. How many number of customers we have called, how many customers we have generated, and how many lead has become successful. These things will be using in the case of sales. Materials storage and handling. In the case of material storage stores, we will be see the purchase requisition, store requisition, and material requisition sent, material received. All these type of things will use as a cost unit of cost measurement. They gave self-solving question here related to the unit of cost measurement. In the old and in the previous years, like 5 years or 10 years ago, they used to ask a unit of cost measurement as a separate question for 4 to 5 marks. 4 to 5 marks. But nowadays he is not asking. Nowadays he is not asking. Only he is testing in the MCQ. He is testing in the MCQ level. So we need to understand for which industry or which product what is the suitable unit of cost measurement. Based upon that, he will be testing only in the MCQ level. One question he may ask, otherwise he may not even ask that question. Only for knowledge purpose we have to learn all these things. State the suggestive unit of cost for the following industries. For the following industries, they are asking us to suggest the unit of cost measurement. So let us solve this and let us see here. What is the unit of cost measurement which is suitable here? The first one he gave here, transportation sector. The first one which he gave here is what? Transportation sector. Just now we have discussed transportation sector. So what is the unit of cost measurement here? What is suitable here? Transportation. The unit of cost measurement. In that first one he gave here, so in the case of transportation sector, if you observe, there are three things. One is private transportation. So when you are traveling in the private transportation, when you are booking a cab from one place to another place, then in that case the unit of cost measurement which is used by the Ola, Uber or any other Rapido services is per kilometer. If you are using the public transportation, in that case the unit of cost measurement which they will use, if you are traveling in TSRTC or APSRTC, so in that case the unit of cost measurement is per passenger kilometer. Here what does per passenger kilometer represents? Per kilometer, so already everyone knows, per kilometer is nothing but how many number of kilometers you are traveling into per kilometer they will charge. Per passenger kilometer, in the case of public transportation, how they will charge? When you are traveling in TSRTC or APSRTC, they will charge if one passenger is traveling up to a distance of 1 kilometer. Based upon that they will charge. That is the reason here unit of cost measurement we will call it as a per passenger kilometer. Next, instead of transporting public, if you are transporting goods from one place to another place, what is the unit of cost measurement they will use? Per tonnage kilometer. So what does this tonnage kilometer represents? Tonnage kilometer represents if you are transporting the goods, if you are transporting 1 ton of goods from one place up to a distance of 1 kilometer, what is the fare they are going to charge? That represents the per tonnage kilometer. Second sector, they asked power. In any industry, generally the power is measured in kilowatt hours. Generally the power is measured in what? Kilowatt hours. Third one, they gave hotel. Third one they gave hotel. In the case of a hotel, there are two things we can see. One, if you are going for a buffet, that is a different again. If you are going to a restaurant dining, that is different again. If you are going to a small tiffin center, that is a different case. If you are visiting a small tiffin center, they will charge per plate. If you are going to a medium sized restaurant for dining or lunch or dinner, in that case they will charge per meal. If you are going for staying purpose into the hotels, 2-star hotel, 3-star hotel or 5-star hotel, 7-star hotel, you are going for staying purpose, they will charge per room day. Per room day. So what is this room day? So if you are going to stay in one single room for 1 day, what is the charge they are going to collect from you? That is called as a per room day. Next, fourth industry, hospital. Fourth industry is what, Nana? Hospital. In the case of hospital, there are different types of unit of cost measurement we can see. One is OP patients, outpatient. Generally this outpatient they will charge per appointment. In the case of IP patients, inpatients, they will charge per surgery per patient day per scanning per X-ray, etc. So these are the different types of unit of cost measurement used in the case of hospital sector. If you see per surgery, you know, if you are going, if a patient is admitting into the hospital for surgery purpose, they will charge per surgery. Whereas per patient day, because if you want to take surgery, immediately he can't admit and he can't come within the same day. He has to stay for a number of days for taking this treatment, and for undergo such surgery. Okay, na? Generally, when you are admitting into the hospital, immediately the doctor will not go for surgery. So prior surgery, they will do many tests. Should be a normal condition. Then only they will go for surgeries. Then in that case, you have to admit into the hospital for a number of days. In that case, what is the unit of cost measurement which is used by hospital? The unit of cost measurement which is used by the hospital here is per patient day. Means if one patient is admitting into the hospital one day, what is the fees they are going to collect from the patient? That is called per patient day. Next, when he is admitting into the hospital prior to the surgery, he has to undergo many things like a scanning he has to do. Then in that case, they will charge per scanning. Then sometimes they have to take X-rays. Then in that case, they will take per X-ray. So all these are the unit of cost measurement which is used in the case of hospital sector, either it for OP patients or IP patients. Next, steel industry. In the case of steel industry, generally this steel is measured in per ton. Next, coal industry. In the case of coal extraction, coal minings also, they will measure this coal, whatever the coal which is extracted from the minings, they will measure in the tons only. Bicycles. In the case of bicycles also, they will measure number of bicycles. In the case of bicycle assembling manufacturing unit, they will measure this bicycles in the number of bicycles. If you are going to decathlon, you can see, if you are going to decathlon, if you want to purchase some sports bicycle, gear bicycle you want to purchase, generally he will charge a number of bicycles or how many number of bicycles you want to purchase. Depending upon the number of bicycle, he will say for bicycle this is the charge. Then how many number of bicycles you want to purchase, based upon that he will tell you the fare. Next, bridge construction. Bridge construction is not a small job, it's a very big job, or we can say it's a very big contract. In the case of bridge construction also, the unit of cost measurement which is used is number of bridges. How many number of bridges they are constructing? How many number of bridges they are constructing to connect it to a path, to connect to a road, to connect to a hill. Depending upon the number of bridges, they will charge. So the unit of cost measurement here is number of bridges. Interior decoration. Generally, construction of a house is a dream for every person. When a person is constructing their own house, generally they will do interior inside the house. So in the case of this interior decoration, how they will charge? Interior decoration, they will charge job. They will treat this interior decoration as a one job, or otherwise interior decorators, like engineers will be there. Okay, now interior designers, they will be there. Interior designers, they will charge on the basis of contract or on the basis of job, any one they will. Advertising. Advertising is a very big, huge market. Advertising, we cannot say any one particular unit of cost measurement. Generally, we will say per advertisement. Because it differs from type of advertisement. Suppose you want to give some advertisement in the newspaper, they will ask how much size or what is the size of the advertisement. Depending upon the size of the advertisement, they will charge. If you want to advertise on the roads, if you want to advertise on the flyers, if you advertise on the big screens, depending upon the type of advertisement, it will keep on changing. Generally, the advertisement, what is the unit of cost measurement we will use? Per advertisement. For one advertisement, what is the cost? Furniture. The unit of cost measurement which we will use for the furniture is number of furnitures. If you are going to a furniture shop to purchase bed, number of beds. If you are going to purchase sofa, number of sofas. If you are purchasing a birva, number of birvas. If you are purchasing a almara, number of almaras. If you are purchasing a study table, number of study tables. If you are purchasing a chairs, number of chairs. So depending upon the number of furnitures, whatever you are purchasing, they will charge. Brick. So in the case of bricks manufacturing industries, the unit of cost measurement which is used is either they will measure 1000 number of bricks or 100 bricks. Why? Because to construct a house, to construct a office, to construct any wall, compulsory we require bricks. So this bricks, when you are going to a bricks manufacturer, he will not sell 1, 2, 3 bricks like that. He will sell in a block. A block may consist of 100 bricks or a block may consist of 1000 bricks. Oil refinery companies. In the case of oil refinery companies, the unit of cost measurement they may use here. If you are going to any oil refinery company to purchase any oil, whether it is a cooking oil, otherwise it is a engine oil, or it is used for any automobile industry oils, any oils, generally they will measure in liters, or some organization they will measure in barrels upon the type of industry. Next one we have is sugar company. In the case of sugar manufacturing company, they will measure in per, generally they will measure the sugar in per tons or otherwise per bag. Sugar bag also they will say. Toy manufacturing, toy making. If you are going to a shop to purchase one toy, so what is the unit of cost measurement? Generally he will ask, sir, how many number of toys you want to purchase, sir? You want to purchase one motor car, that is a one toy. If you want to purchase a one ball, that is a one toy. If you want to purchase one lagoon set, that is a one toy. If you want to purchase a one doctor set, that is a one toy. So he will measure based upon the number of toys. Next one is cement. In the case of cement manufacturing industries, what is the unit of cost measurement we will use in the case of cement manufacturing industries? They will use per ton basis or otherwise per cement bag. This is the unit of cost measurement we will use in the case of cement. Next, radio assembling. Radio assembling. In the case of radio assembling industry, the unit of cost measurement which we will use here is number of radios. Next, ship building. In the case of shipbuilding industry, the unit of cost measurement which we will use is number of ships built. So these are the different units of cost measurement which we will use in the cost accounting subject in different fields. Okay, I hope everyone you understand. Next one, cost driver. The next important cost accounting term we have is cost driver. So what do you mean by a cost driver? It is a factor that causes a change in the cost of an activity. So what do you mean by a cost driver? A cost driver is nothing but it is a factor which will change in the cost of any activity. Means if you perform that activity, it is going to change the cost of such activity. That is called as a cost driver. For example, if you take machine hours. If a worker is working on the machine for a more number of hours, definitely we have to pay more wages to the workers. First point. Second thing is repairs and maintenance for the machine also will increase. Why? Because the machine is working for a longer hours. And again, electricity consumption or electricity bill also will increase. Why? Because the machine is working for more number of hours. Means here if you see this machine hours is a cost driver, it is indicating that the more the number of hours you work, the more the cost will increase. Or in another way we can say, the more the number of hours the machine is working, the output or production also will increase. So here this machine hours is called as a cost driver. Why? Because this machine hours is indicating that it is indicating that more the number of hours you are consuming, your various cost also increasing. Like labor worker charges, electricity consumption, repairs and maintenance. So this is the example for cost driver. Not only that, another example also you can see. Number of deliveries is also a cost driver. Why? Because in the case of marketing, in the case of e-sales, e-commerce sales, we will be seeing Amazon, Flipkart. The more the number of deliveries, delivery boy is delivering the parcels to the customers, then automatically our transportation cost will increase, our packing cost also will increase, and the wages, delivery wages which we need to pay to the delivery boy, that also will. So that is nothing but here number of deliveries is a cost driver which is indicating that when the number of deliveries is increasing, automatically your sales also increasing. When sales is increasing at the same time, your expenses is also increasing. So anything which will cause a change in the activity, that we will call it as a cost driver. Understood? Next, responsibility centers. This topic will be seeing in the cost accounting subject as well as in the group 2 CMA Inter financial management as well as management accounting subject is there. In the management accounting subject also again this responsibility centers, it will appear there also. So it's a dual concept. Dual means here it will repeat here as well as in the management accounting also it will repeat there.